My name is Annette Becker, and I serve as the director of the Texas Fashion Collection. The collection came to UNT in 1972, largely because it was being framed as a research resource, and a university is a great place for something like that. The Texas Fashion Collection includes nearly 20,000 historic and designer garments and accessories, and the way that these pieces are activated is through researchers coming to engage with them. So those folks might be fashion design students who are being inspired to create new garments. It might be a history student who's writing a paper, or a library science student who might be learning about practices for caring for things like this. I first came to the Texas Fashion Collection in 2013 as a graduate student in the Art History Master's program, and when I came here I had almost no experience hands-on with artifacts like these. So the training that I've gotten in this space and that I now facilitate for a lot of students and other researchers is both learning a lot about fashion history and the specificity of who made these pieces, how they were created, and what they've meant to their wearers, but it also relates a lot to how these things need to be cared for, proper handling of them, how to catalog these artifacts, and that's something really special that the collection offers to people who are around it. We get to approach it from so many different directions that even today, 9 years into being director, I still learn something new every single day. Facilities at UNT are incredibly important for making sure that our world-class collection is cared for properly. In this space, we have to make sure that the temperature is between 60 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit, which is often a little chilly for people, but is perfect for our artifacts. The HVAC units here often have to work overtime to make sure that our space is safe for our materials.
My name is Matthew Devers. I'm a lead HVAC technician, and I work in facilities maintenance. HVAC is just heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. It's basically what keeps you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. I don't know much about fashion, but it's nice to be able to come up with solutions and also work with people like Annette, who are clearly passionate about what they do.
My favorite parts of my job tend to be when I'm able to match a researcher with something that is critical to a question that they're asking. So sometimes that's a student who wants to start working in a fashion history topic but isn't quite sure where to begin, and sometimes we can find something that just really seizes their interest or fills a gap in a question that they're asking, fills a gap in a way that often a Google search would not be able to satisfy that. The other most satisfying part of my job tends to be when we add new pieces to the collection that I know need to be saved as cultural heritage. Sometimes that is work by designers who aren't being collected by other institutions. Sometimes it's a really important example of a personal history. For example, someone who made their own wedding dress in the 1940s. Getting to celebrate those histories of everyday people is really important to us. And then also thinking about people in the future being able to use these artifacts to understand even the ways that we live today. We're constantly building and documenting history here, not only for us in this present moment, but for people in the future too. My favorite piece at the Texas Fashion Collection is kind of unexpected. Most people assume it would be some piece of haute couture by Cristobal Balenciaga, a special dress by Dior, a suit by Chanel, but my personal favorite piece is a tiara from the 1930s made out of chicken wire, glitter, and glue. And that's my personal favorite because I grew up on a farm kind of in the middle of nowhere in western Kansas. I did not grow up wearing Dior dresses, but I definitely grew up around chicken wire, and getting to see something that I think taps into an experience most people have of wanting to feel special through what they're wearing, and someone using the resources they have around them to make that happen. That's something that really resonates with me and helps me think through why people might wear the Dior dresses in our collection. I really love that when people come into our space, because we have nearly 20,000 pieces here, they can almost always find something that resonates with them the same way that chicken wire tiara resonates with me. The Texas Fashion Collection could not exist without the expertise of UNT's facilities folks. This is a space that requires, because of our artifacts, very specific climate controls, very specific parameters. We cannot properly care for these things if our building, if our HVAC system aren't being managed properly, and UNT facilities make sure that that happens. I often joke with people that on our website we really should have some of the headshots and names of folks and facilities on the Texas Fashion Collection's website, because those are some of our closest colleagues and really work hand in hand with us to care for our collection.